All right, ladies and gentlemen, Steelers lose 20-10, and what I would say is a winnable matchup, a winnable game for them. But unfortunately, they leave so many opportunities off the board. They leave so many points off the board, and that results in the Steelers losing their first game after winning 2 straight. They lost their matchup here in Heinz Field. The Jags win 5 straight now. The Jags continue to have our number. We have not beaten the Jags in Heinz Field since 2011. They keep having our number in our own stadium. And what pisses me off is, like I stated, man, this was winnable. This was absolutely winnable. And the Steelers just, they had so many opportunities, and they couldn't capitalize on any of it. They only had 1 touchdown today. 1. And that was when Mitch was at quarterback. Because Kenny got hurt in this game due to a rib injury. That's it. We should have more touchdowns. We should have more points, but we don't.
And some of that does indeed fall on Kenny Pickett.
Yes, it does. You know what? I'm not even blaming this loss on Matt Canada.
No.
Don't get us wrong.
We had to fire Matt Canada, champ, but that was like on 1 drive.
No, that was after 4 straight 3-and-outs. 4 straight 3-and-outs was when we got our first and probably only fire Matt Canada chant. And that is still the statement. That still runs true. Fire Canada, please. Because even though we're down, he still has no sense of urgency. He's still running the same vanilla garbage. He's telling us he doesn't give a fuck while actually telling us he doesn't give a fuck.
But for this game, he's not the guy to put all the blame on, the full blame on.
I'm not putting, in fact, I wouldn't even put any blame on him. The play calling still sucks, but the players cannot execute. The players failed us today. It was a total team failure, an offensive failure, most important.
Offensive failure.
Because the defense gave the offense 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
The defense forced 3 turnovers on the Jags. A forced fumble, an interception, and another fumble recovery. Do you know what the Steelers only got out of that? Out of 3 turnovers. You know what the Steelers got out of that? 3 points. A fucking field goal.
1 field goal, and that was on a 12-play, 92-yard drive.
93-yard.
That should have resulted in a Deontay Johnson touchdown, but Kenny Pickett completely missed him wide open.
And he saw him too late.
And he threw it inaccurately.
Deontay should have been his first read on that play. Should have been his first read. He was wide open for a cool minute.
How you don't see that is mind-boggling.
Deontay could have had his first touchdown in almost 2 years, and Kenny missed him. Now, at the same time, Deontay dropped the ball on the first play of the game. Yes, it was a little overthrown, but it was in his mitts. It was in stride. He should have caught that. That would have been a touchdown. It would have been. But he dropped it. But he could have had at least 1 today if Kenny could hit him in the red zone.
That was the most evident one. Not to mention the underthrown pass to George Pickens, too, when he beat Darius Williams.
Yes.
Darius Williams. He had all that grass, all that turf, all that field wide open to Pickens.
And Kenny underthrew it.
Completely underthrew it, causing Williams to deflect it.
In fact, Pickens only had 1 catch today, which was our only touchdown. That's it.
22-yard touchdown.
That's it.
Mitch to Pickens. That was it.
Just terrible. So many opportunities, so many mistakes. Just it was just really, 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 really self-inflicting, to put it that way. Because we could have won this. If Kenny could have thrown a little more accurately, if Johnson would have caught the first pass, if Kenny would have seen Johnson in the end zone, right?
If the offense overall.
Because think about this.
Just took advantage of what the defense.
Yes.
Because the defense in the first half was pretty much essentially, for the most part, a brick wall. There was not really much that the Jaguars could do. They couldn't score. When they even went down to field goal range, that's when the turnover started to come up. That's where the defense came up big. They were able to get the turnovers. They only led the Jaguars to 9 points, 3 field goals in the first half. Defense did all that they could in the first half, as well in the second half, but the defense ain't going to stop the Jaguars and their offensive firepower consistently.
No, not for
They're not going to do it consistently when the offense is not going to be taking advantage. And that doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter if it's Kenny in there or if it's Mitch in there. Overall, the offense is just not productive. It's not going to take advantage.
Yes.
It's not going to score. It's not going to put points on the board. When they should, when they have opportunity after opportunity to score, they fail to execute. They miss big time.
And it cost us the game. It cost us the game as much as it did with Mitch's interception towards the end of the game, which allowed the Jags to get the field goal that pretty much solidified it.
Yes, seal the deal.
Because after Mitch's drive that ended in a Pickens touchdown, the score was 17-10, which should have been a tie game if again, we took advantage of our earlier mistakes. If we took advantage of the KZ interception. But we didn't. But it was a one-score game, and after Mitch, because before that, the defense allowed a long touchdown to Travis Etienne. He got 8 points by himself.
Yeah.
A long receiving touchdown up the right sideline, and then got a 2-point conversion. Right after that, Mitch and company responded nicely with a touchdown to Pickens. And then after that, the real Mitch came out.
Yeah.
The real Mitch showed up, and it did, in some part, cost us the game. But he wasn't the main reason. He wasn't the only reason. He wasn't the sole reason we lost this game. Mitch did cost us, but earlier mistakes cost us just as much as Mitch's interception did. In fact, Kenny cost us as much as Mitch did.
Yeah.
No, Kenny did not throw an interception, but when you have your number one target wide open in the end zone, in the red zone, you can't miss that.
Or your
bro.
most prominent playmaker
You
on
can't miss
offense,
that,
at
bro.
wide receiver, and George Pickens wide open with a bunch of field right in front of him. You can't underthrow a pass like that.
No, so it's just absolutely.
Those are mistakes that a first-round quarterback cannot make.
It's just an absolutely embarrassing performance by this offense, man.
Those mistakes early on really bit us in the ass later in the game.
Yes, it did.
And I don't even think if Kenny Pickett was in there, I don't think it would have helped us.
No.
I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have made another a clutch moment.
No, because
He's not going to do it every time. Let's be real.
Everyone's holding on to Kenny in his last 2 games, making fourth quarter comebacks. As man, Kenny would have won us this game. How do you know that? Because of those 2 previous games that he won us. Like Rob said, that's not going to happen every game.
No.
In fact, Kenny played terrible today. The entire offense played terrible. Outside of Johnson, outside of Warren, outside of Pickens. That's it. That's it. No one else showed up. The run game was atrocious. 70 yards. 70 yards. That's it. Our leading rusher was Jalen Warren with 19 yards. That's it. Etienne alone had 79.
Yeah.
Deontay, 8 receptions, 85 yards. Should have had 2 touchdowns. A minimum of 1, but didn't. Deontay showed up. And it's just unfortunate, man. It's really, really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Just an absolute terrible performance by the offense. The Steelers' offense is brought down back to reality, which is to no one's shock. But, man, those earlier mistakes did come back to bite us, as we knew it would have, because the defense was, for the most part, shutting down the Jags' offense. They limited them to only 3 field goals. They got 3 turnovers on the Jags' offense, and the offense did nothing to respond. They did nothing to get points on the board. They did nothing to help the defense.
Which is why you should not always have to rely on a fourth quarter comeback from Kenny Pickett or the entire offense. You should not have to rely on only 15 minutes of football for you to come back and win the game.
And
if you make bad decisions, if you make mistakes earlier on in the game, if you don't make mistakes earlier on in the game, you shouldn't have to come back in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
If you're a first-round quarterback making mistake after mistake, not connecting to your targets, you shouldn't have to come back from the fourth quarter. I'm not letting Pickett's already solid resume of fourth quarter clutch comeback moments blind me from the fact that he's not productive the first 3 quarters. That's a problem.
That's a massive problem.
That's a problem.
And it cost us this game.
That's a problem. If he does not make those mistakes, we probably will have 3 straight wins.
We're looking at 5-2.
We're looking at 3 straight wins.
Blame Mitch all you want. Blame Mitch's interception all you want. Blame the refs if you want, because they called a James Pierre pass interference, which gave the Jags their first 3 points of the game. Blame the roughing the passer on Keanu Neal, which was not. And then Kenny, on the play he got hurt, would get hit and sacked late, would literally get all pressure from the defender on top of him, which is considered roughing the passer nowadays. That was not called.
No.
But Keanu Neal's safety blitz is a fucking roughing the passer. Make it make sense. Nothing's fair nowadays, okay? The refs continue to be atrocious. I have never seen worse officiating in the entire NFL season, but this year. It's terrible. Blame that if you want. It gave the Jags some points. It definitely hurt us for sure. Blame that if you want. Blame Mitch's interception if you want. But the early mistakes by our players' unexecution or failed execution hurt us more than that, or just as much as that. It's just absolutely terrible, dude. A team failure, an offensive failure. And then the defense, of course, after a while just couldn't stop nothing. They allowed a big touchdown to ETN. ETN had a tremendous game. Ridley had 83 yards. Ingram at 88 yards. Just continued chunk plays, which pretty much sealed the game. Once again, a team disaster and an offensive failure, dude. If the offense steps up earlier in the game, if they don't go 4 straight 3-and-outs, if they capitalize on Casey's interception and not only get 3 points in your own in the Jags red zone, come on,
and
man.
not rely on the fourth quarter comeback.
Oh, come on, man.
It's like Ric Flair and his 16 World Championship wins. Oh, look at that. He's won 16 World Championships. Yeah, but he lost it 15 other fucking times. Just like with Kenny Pickett. Oh, he's got 8 or 9 clutch moments. But he's got 8 other games where he doesn't show up in the third fucking quarter.
Exactly.
The 3 other quarters.
We're not asking for a perfect game. I know everyone's, you're asking for a perfect game. When was the last time the Steelers ever had a perfect game?
No, at that moment, you're putting words in our mouths, motherfucker.
We're not asking for a perfect game. We're asking for competent football. We're asking for simple shit to be executed, which is not. From high-graded players.
A first-round quarterback, a first-round running back, a second-round wide receiver, a third-round wide receiver, a second-round tight end, a third-round tight end.
Right.
You traded. No, you didn't trade. You paying all this money for the offensive line. You got James Daniels in there, Mason Cole.
The O-line sucks.
Isaac Seumalo.
Mason Cole sucks, and Isaac Seumalo sucks. Seumalo is a blunder.
Traded up.
Happy birthday, but bro, you suck.
You traded up for a left tackle to replace your current left tackle, but you're not playing the left tackle that you traded up for because you have this left tackle that you are planning to replace with a rookie left tackle. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
All this investment in this offense.
And they can't execute.
It's frustrating.
Today was very evident that execution is definitely a problem. Blame it on coaching all you want.
I mean, previous games already showcased that. Previous years have already showcased
but coaching most importantly showed that. But today showed that the execution is just as bad. Just as bad. We could have absolutely won this game. This game was so winnable in many aspects, on many opportunities, and they failed on every single last one of them. That's it. There was one glimmer of hope when Mitch brought his that touchdown.
And T.J. Watt sack. But that still led to no avail. The real Pittsburgh Steelers came out. The real offense came out. It's unfortunate. And then the Jags, man. They're just going to insult the identity, the terrible towel. Fucking Andrew Wingard, who got the interception on Mitch Trubisky, is going to take a terrible towel from the crowd and twirl it in the air.
In our own stadium.
And they get the win. That's just sad, man.
It's very sad.
That's just sad.
But the Steelers lose 20-10, and like I said, a winnable matchup. But the Steelers, man, to continue to stub their own toes, as Mike Tomlin would say.
He would say that. You're right.
We stubbed our own toes, and now we gotta watch out for the door hinge next time around. What's the excuse? What is the excuse for this game, huh? Oh, the weather. Well, you play in Heinz Field. Comes with the territory. Oh, the refs suck. Yeah, but you fucking suck. What else is it? The injuries. Kenny, rib injury. Minka, hamstring injury. Dan Moore, injury. And we're on a short week.
And Johnson also was shaken up a little bit.
But he came back in. So I'm not worried about that. He'll be on the injury report, but he should be fine. But regardless, all that and we're on a short week to face the Titans. A hot Titans team that just exploded for some reason.
Yeah, Will Levis, 4 touchdowns, 3 done to DeAndre Hopkins.
Bro, Will fucking Levis, in his first career start, doubled as many touchdowns. Doubled Kenny Pickett's career high in touchdown passes in a single game. Wow. I don't know what to say anymore, dude. This team needs to have better execution, man.
This game was even more evident of the issues and the faults that this team has. Mm-hmm. But because we were 4-2, we're good. We're a good team, you know. We're clutching out victories. That don't mean shit.
Yes.
When the team constantly has underlying issues week in and week out, do not let the fact that they're edging out victories, that Kenny pulled off another clutch win as our starting quarterback, the fact that we have a winning record still, do not let all that blunt you from the fact that this team blows.
Oh, it blows big time. But what's the most interesting? We have 11 more games of this. 11 more straight games of this. And we got a short week coming up. We retain home in Pittsburgh to face another former AFC Central rival in the Titans, a fellow AFC South team in the Titans. And these are two teams also have rich history. But the Titans are coming off a hot little win here with a younger, fresher quarterback. Seems like the freshness they needed, I suppose. But now we're coming off a loss, and we're on a short week with a bunch of injuries and with offensive problems remaining. So.
And this is what happens when you don't make adjustments, when you don't make changes during your bye week.
This is the 2023 Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you're not already used to it, you better get used to it now. It's just disappointing, man, when I know we could have won this game and we just failed at every opportunity. 3 turnovers and only 3 points.
Altogether. Just a mess.
How do you do that, dude?
It's a mess.
Regardless, the Steelers lose 20-10. Let us know you guys' feelings and your thoughts down below. We'll see what the injury updates are on Minka and Dan Moore, who came back into the game, and Deontay and Kenny.
Of course.
So we'll see what all that holds because we're on a short week. Thankfully, we remain home, so that's going to help a little bit. But we face the Titans on Thursday, so we'll see if the team wants to show up or not. Probably not, but we'll see. But shout out to the Heinz Field crowd because they were really hot in Pittsburgh. It's unfortunate this team couldn't give them a win. And who knows? Maybe they get a win back somehow versus the Titans. Otherwise, same old Steelers. Classic old Steelers, you know. Stressful Steelers football. Just another edition of it. And wow, we got two episodes of Stressful Steelers football in 1 week. Wow, that's gonna be a fun watch, isn't it?
This is fine.
This is really fun. Steelers lows. Let us know you guys' thoughts down below. Here we go, Steelers at the end of the day. I don't know, man. We'll see what we can do. I don't know what to say anymore.
Let's just prepare for the short week against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Will we do better?
Maybe, but probably not.
But as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace.